and the voice of logic and sanity at the United Nations Human Rights Council as well. Junaid, what's your perspective? You've seen Kashmir closely over the last 3 decades. Although you are not in India at this point in time, how do you see this massive crackdown? Do you think there's been a hot and cold approach of New Delhi as well? There's been, of course, as you mentioned, the interference of the ISI, the Pakistani deep state in Kashmir for last many years. But what is this growing realization in New Delhi on counter-terrorism efforts and the crackdown against separatists? How do you view it?
Well, thank you, Aditya. I think there has been a shift in policy of New Delhi, and I think it's for the good. We in Kashmir, you should not forget, these people of the Hurriyat Conference and these separatists have, without any reason, they have been given too much of attention. In my opinion, they might represent a very small sentiment of some pockets in the valley. But let's not forget, Jammu and Kashmir is bigger than the valley. It's also bigger than just Srinagar. They don't have any representation from Jammu, Ladakh, let alone from the other side of the LOC. So I think it was wrong years ago to invite them for talks, because I don't believe they're going to represent my sentiments. I don't believe they represent the sentiments of other people in Kashmir. You cannot have talks with the B team of the Pakistani security agencies. These people all in the Hurriyat, they all in the 90s, they had their armed wings. They have been, I do believe that in a democratic society there should be space for dissent, and dissenting voices should be given vent, unless they incite violence. And if you look at these voices, they have been inciting violence, whether that's stone pelting, whether that's the gun. I don't think any state should be talk. If you want to talk to the Hurriyat, it's better to talk to the ISI. You can better go across and talk to the DGISI. These people don't have their own viewpoint. All their constitutions, you have 3 Hurriyats now, or 2. Every party is divided in one of the other Hurriyat. All their constitutions call for accession of Jammu and Kashmir to Pakistan. My question is, if they call for accession to Pakistan, why not talk to the Pakistanis then? Why talk to the Hurriyat? I don't see any reasoning in that. And I think this crackdown on the Hurriyat, it's, if they have been inciting violence.
This is a positive beginning, that there's been a boycott of the Pakistan High Commission event, the reception, because there's growing realization that this engagement with Hurriyat, this backdoor talks, the money receiving, etc. Because I have a note from the Enforcement Directorate in front of me right now, which says that Zahur Watali used to receive money from Hafiz Saeed, from Syed Salahuddin, etc. And, there's been huge property that these separatists and these conduits have made over the years. So do you think this boycott of the Pakistani reception is apt, and they shouldn't stop at that, also perhaps move further?
Look, money has been coming into Kashmir from Pakistan and from New Delhi over these decades. You have books written about it. I do think that the process which New Delhi has started, I do think it should be multifaceted. I don't think a total diplomatic boycott is going to help things. You will need to talk. Maybe, not going to the Pakistan Day, fair enough. But I do hope that New Delhi and Islamabad have some back channel diplomacy going on in order to talk and in order to come to ways in order to get them pressurized in terms of terrorism, because that remains the biggest problem. After this blocking of Masood Azhar at the UN Security Council, nothing has changed. One can argue what would have happened if he was listed as a designated terrorist. But in order for India and Pakistan to get to move in this terrorism conundrum, they will have to talk. So I don't think we should get too much into this. I think this is a symbolic move, not going to the Pakistan Day. But I do hope that there is not a total cut of all diplomatic relations. I do hope that they are talking at some kind of level somewhere.
Of course, there is some kind of back channel that's always maintained, and that certainly doesn't come in media or in the public eye.